Hey, what's going on, guys? Austin here. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at 5-Minute Fantasy's Week 10 hits and misses. So if you take a look here, I've got the entire list of all my hits, all my misses. As you can see, as usual, there's more green than there is red. This is probably one of my worst overall weeks I've ever had. You can see it's averaging around 62, 63%. Some notable things I'd like to point out. I said to sit Ryan Tannehill, and I want to make sure that gets pointed out. Ryan Tannehill has been on a pretty hot streak, but I knew he would have a bad game. On the other side, I said start Tua Tagovailoa against a really bad Chargers defense, and he didn't end up doing much, only around 14 points. Otherwise, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, they were at the top of their game. Daniel Jones had 23 points. And then on the other side, I didn't think Bridgewater or Stafford would have good games, and they ended up having like 22 to 23 points. Coming down to the running backs, I thought Jonathan Taylor was going to have the game that Nyheim Hines ended up having. It turns out that Thursday night was Hines' birthday, so maybe that had something to do with all the carries he got. I also said to sit DeAndre Swift. That was a very poor decision. He ended up having 25 points this week. He seems to have planted himself as the surefire number one option in Detroit, and from now on, consider him a running back one in the NFL. I said to start Brandon Aiyuk. This is one of my favorite starts. The dude's been on fire lately, and he's on fire right now. He's one of the best young receivers in the league coming out of Arizona State. He was kind of like an X factor. He was a dude that carried an offense all by himself, and don't be surprised if he continues on doing it. Over on the other side, I said to sit DK Metcalf. That was an excellent pick. Again, DK can shred up zones, but when it comes to man-to-man coverage, he got shut down by Patrick Peterson. He gets shut down by Jalen Ramsey this last week. Look out for these matchups. Anytime that DK Metcalf has to face a number one cornerback. I did, unfortunately, miss on Stephon Diggs and T. Higgins. I didn't think that they'd be having big games, especially considering Cole Beasley had a great game. Stephon Diggs also had a fantastic game as well. Tyler Boyd had a relatively decent game, but T. Higgins also had a good game, so I missed on those. You can take a look at my tight ends. I got 50-50, which I really don't like being in the 50%. I like to keep it above 62% on my hits. Completely have been missing on Austin Hooper this year. I'm gonna pretty much just leave him out. I mean, he had a stretch of games where he averaged like 12 points over like 4 consecutive weeks. Especially in a year where tight ends are weak. I mean, that's something that you gotta want, is a guy that can just get you 12 points every single week. But this week he only ended up getting 2. There's some problems with the Cleveland offense that are really hard to explain. On the other side, I said to sit Jordan Reed and Hunter Henry. Jordan Reed, this is like the first game he's played since maybe Kirk Cousins was in Washington. It's been a ridiculously long time, and he came in, he filled in well. I think he got like 10 points, which again, I'm on it a lot this year. The tight ends are extremely weak this year. Jordan Reed ended up getting 10 points, which might have been good enough for a top 4 spot. I said to start Mark Andrews, who's been having a really poor year this year, and he ended up being atop the tight end leaderboard, so I was really happy about that. And then down to my defense and special teams. These were the ones that I got the best hit. As you can see this week, I got Chicago and New Orleans absolutely right. I missed on Detroit and Miami. I definitely thought that they were going to be better showings. They only ended up getting 4 points each, I think. But then the sits, I got all those right. Buffalo, Green Bay, Philadelphia, and the Los Angeles Chargers. I believe they all ended up scoring less than 4 points on the defensive side. Defenses haven't been great this year either. Even with a defense like Pittsburgh or New Orleans or Baltimore, many of them aren't getting much higher than that 10-point threshold. So, it's really subjective where the defense and the tight ends rankings go, but that's something that we're going to have to take a better look at and kind of reevaluate what we're doing here. All right, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel and stay up to date on all of our future content. And you can follow me on other social media platforms. I'm at The Extra Point on Instagram and as well as Twitter.